Hey everyone, this is Miss Spencer. I am recording a bit of a video for you guys so that you can learn to navigate Indeed.com. Indeed is a job search website, and I am really a fan of it. There are other job search websites out there. Google even posts jobs, and you can kind of communicate with employers through that. But I love the way that Indeed kind of operates. It's very simple, easy to use. There's not a lot of fuss. There are like sponsored posts, but there's not necessarily ads. So you don't have to deal with some of that stuff like you do on Monster. And currently, if you see, I have typed in Indeed.com. And what's really cool is maybe not necessarily for my students, but for parents out there who may have unfortunately lost a job due to COVID-19, there are direct resources. I love this page. I've been navigating people towards it. They even have nationally now, not all of these companies exist in our area, but there's Taco Bell's hiring, Pilot, Burger King. We have all of those. Hibbett Sports. There's one in Oak Ridge, I know. Lowe's, Advantage, I've never heard of. But there's lots of links to job postings for those places in your area. And we also have tips and tricks on writing a resume and cover letter, how to write a federal resume if you're applying for a government job. All of these awesome tips and tricks. They have a great blog, and everything's in one nice, convenient space right now, especially because of COVID-19. So, speaking of the devil, COVID-19, we're kind of in a unique job market right now. Students might think that this is not the summer for them to find a summer job, or they're just going to have to be unemployed for the first couple of months after graduation. That is not true. There are essential businesses out there that are hiring, and there also is a reopening coming soon. So life is going to continue to ebb and flow. And I want you guys to be really looking out. You don't necessarily have to watch the news every night, but you should keep yourself informed of what's going on, but also check websites like Indeed. So let's go back here. Perfect. So we could on this page just go ahead and, for example, let's just type in dishwasher. We've got Knoxville, Tennessee. You can also put your own personal zip code in there, and that'll give you a little bit more tailored results. And then you can do like within 5 miles. So that's nice and close to me. So we have a dishwasher and a busser position. The French Market Creperie is a local organization. Well, not an organization, but a restaurant in the downtown area. And they are a small business. So awesome to work for a small business during this time. You know that they're really going to be looking out for their team members because they're kind of all in the same boat. That's a really nice um, just a really nice benefit, I think. And also, I mean, the French Market Creperie, if you've ever been there, what a lovely place to work. People seem to really enjoy their job there. So you have to think about things like that when you're looking for a job. If you've been to that place, think about how people were treated there. If you haven't, maybe go visit. I honestly encourage you to do that. So you can just get on here and start searching. If you have a profile already, go ahead and sign in. If you do not, I'm going to show you exactly how to get that done right now. So I actually just created this profile, but it does not have any information set to it yet. So when you create your profile, it's going to have you put in your information. And a lot of the information that it wants you to put in is to populate a resume. It'll look just like this when you create your profile initially, and you can link it to a Google Gmail account. Again, I try to encourage students to use some version of their name in their email, something that's memorable, maybe not something with a lot of numbers in it, definitely not something with 420 in it or 69. I hate that I have to say that, but I get that all the time, and people throw resumes away that have emails that are inappropriate on them. Um, Your profile picture on your email account does not need to be a My Little Pony picture or something that's too personal. Definitely no shirtless gym pics. I know that sounds crazy that I have to say it, but again, HR people say all of the time that they get the craziest things come through the door. So you want to make sure that you're being professional, even down to your email address. That is important. All right, so we've got your first name here. You're going to do your last name, city, most recent job title, and they're going to ask you questions like this. So maybe if you didn't have any work experience, you're going to want to be more detailed in your highest level of education because they do want you to put quite a bit of data in here. So maybe you have a high school diploma. If you do not, let's see. I wonder if custom you could put current high school student. That might be really appropriate for those of you looking for a part-time job during the school year or even a summer job. So current. That way they know you're of age to work, meaning you're 16 or older, or maybe you're going to get a parent's permission, but they don't expect you to have a diploma of any kind. No worries. As long as you're applying for the right kind of job for you and you're not wasting your time applying for something you're either overqualified or underqualified for, there's really no worries on answering these questions honestly. Let's see. Perfect. Yeah, they even say on there, look, you can say some college. So some high school is a great answer. Let's see. They Okay, so this is a great question that I've gotten from students several times. They want to know your employment eligibility. So if you are a U.S. citizen or you have a green card or some availability to work in the United States, then you would just say, yes, you are authorized to work for any employer. If you have questions about that, please contact me and I will attempt to get you the correct information on that. Most recent job title, I want to go right back to that. If you're a high school student, you could put high school student. I would prefer for you not to. Instead, I would encourage you to choose either a club that you've been thoroughly involved in. If it's youth group, then you could put that you helped with the youth group, or maybe if you're a captain of a team, you could put that on there, and then you want to specify on your resume later, and we will do probably another video on that later, resumes in general. A lot of you guys have had me in class and we have been able to talk about resumes previously, and some of you guys even have one already. So most recent job title, later on your resume, you're going to describe what you did there. So think about the job title as an intro to what you're going to say that you did. So team captain at high school football team or something like that. Team captain of high school football team. Perfect. Love it. And you could even do HS because I don't know if it'll allow you to do that many characters. And then later when it has us, which I'm not going to be able to do it now, but it's going to have you provide details. Again, if you have a resume, which I do, oh my goodness, that's my husband. Let me think. I know I have one on here somewhere. This might be, there's a, haha. You can even upload the PDF version. So I'm going to show you an old resume of mine. I have no idea what it looks like. Perfect. See how we were at step one, but when you upload the resume, it just pulls all of that information and then you can edit it later. Job preferences, desired job title. If you have an exact thing that you're looking for, some of you guys have told me that you're going to be an electrician. So put on there electrician apprentice. That is an awesome opportunity where you would be able to be paid in order to learn the skills needed to become an electrician. If you're looking for a CNA job, then CNA, something like that. If you only think you would want to be a dishwasher, again, same. Do not put anything there if you're open-minded or if you do not know what you want to do yet. Full-time or part-time. I'm going to tell students right now, you're better off if you're looking for summer work to say part-time and then pick up extra shifts or trade shifts with people so that you can get a little bit more hours. If you work full-time in the summer, sometimes the odds that they would hire a high schooler for a full-time position, not as high, or maybe if you have your part-time position, your odds that they're going to keep you on throughout the school year is also higher. So you want to make sure that you're hitting part-time for that. Desired salary, minimum wage, I believe is still $7.75 or I think it's $7.25. So you're going to hit per hour and it's $7.25. Sorry guys, you are 18 or younger. So $7.25 is probably going to need to be where you start, especially if you do not have any work experience. I have a couple of students in mind who I know do have pretty good work experience and are seniors. Go ahead and put $8.50 or even $9, $10 an hour. Do not say that you're willing to relocate unless you're actually willing to relocate, because there are a lot of sponsored posts that will kind of try to get you to move. So some of these things they ask you just generally, and then some of them they ask you based on what you put your skills in as. If you do not have a resume, again, this is a cool tool to actually get a resume. So you would go through and they're going to ask you a lot of questions. We already did some of them. You would put your job title, you would put a description of that, when you worked there, from what months and days, that kind of a thing. And then it's actually going to generate a resume for you. So that's awesome. But everybody, no matter if you have a resume before or after you fill out this information, they're going to ask you these tell us about yourself questions. A couple of them are general and a couple of them are more specific. I think I have administrative experience on my resume, so that's probably why it asked me that question. So those are some of the questions. Are you willing to undergo a background check in accordance with local laws and regulations? The answer should always be yes. If you want a job, you need to be willing to work for that job. I hope that everybody hears me. If you want a job, you need to be able to work for that job. That includes passing a drug test, which includes marijuana use, and that also includes being on time to your interview, talking to the HR person, calling in advance if you're running late, calling in advance if you have a question about where it is, getting the bus route for the day if you do not have your own transportation to get over to your interview, learning Zoom if you're going to have to do a Zoom interview. You need to be prepared, and feel free to ask questions ahead of time in order to make those decisions. So, for example, if you're not super sure what to expect and you have an interview scheduled, please call. Please send me an email. There's no need to go into things blind. You have teachers who will help you prepare. A couple of the things on your resume might kind of change them. So make sure you read through very detailed. This is some of my work experience. You see how I have short blurbs that are informative. You want to make sure like these do not have the bullet points. So I might want to go in and edit so that everything looks the same. Put that bullet point back in there. In order to do that, I'm going to copy. So we will just breeze through this for now. They want to know if I have any of these, which I do. So social media management, yes. Autism experience, yes. Developmental disability, what? I don't know what that says. Experience, yes. Ooh, personal assistant experience, kind of. I'm not going to put that one because I'm not looking for those types of jobs. These are more relevant for people who have a larger resume. If you are a student and you were involved in a lot of clubs or you organized a lot of activities, please put that on there. And if you are working on a resume, this is the perfect time to work on one. But please send it to me if you want it to be reviewed by someone. No problem there. If you have any certifications, some of you may have gotten like a CNA certification or something like that through college or through high school, excuse me. Military service, maybe you got you already took your praxis, oh, I'm going to mess this up. What is it called? Your military entrance exam, then you're going to go ahead and maybe put that score on there, something like that. Make it as detailed for what you want. And if you do not know what you want, then please put a lot of information on there to set yourself apart. Now, we never lie on a resume, and that's very important. So we never lie on Indeed. Okay. So once you go through all of this stuff, you are good to go. My resume was posted. Love it. And I want to go back to find jobs. And it may even auto-populate some for you if you've got a resume. Say, I can think of one student who worked at a mechanics shop. So that might be on there, and it might pull up some different dealerships and mechanics shops that he could work at moving forward. But we can always go back. So let's look for some serving jobs right now. Good part-time job. A lot of you are of the correct age to get a good serving job. If you're a little bit younger, 16, younger than 18, please try to find a place that does not serve alcohol, because if you're wanting to be a server, you're not going to be able to serve alcohol. Although I will say a hosting job is a great job for a young high school student, and you can work up to being a server and maybe even a manager someday. Also, I talk to a lot of students, and a lot of you get frustrated, I hear, about feeling like you have to take a low-paying job starting out. Here's the thing, you guys. Everybody's young at one point, myself included. I'm young. I was young. I'll be young for a while. But we all have moments in time that define us. And choosing your first job is one of those moments. So think of something that you're looking forward to. If you want to be a nurse, then volunteer at a nursing home so that you can get some type of care experience, even if it's just bedside manner experience, treating people kindly, making people feel welcome. And then that way you can put that on your resume, and you can have a job that pays you well. You can work at PetSmart or whatever, on the weekends. I also want to mention a quick tip on Indeed. For example, a lot of times you'll see this 30 plus days ago. A lot of people will not apply for those 30 plus days ago jobs. Some of them are totally irrelevant, and you shouldn't apply for them. For example, I happen to know that Babalu downtown, which is the one right here, actually closed, and they no longer exist as a company. So the fact that this is still on there is very irrelevant and kind of a bummer that it's still up there. That happens. It's a website. No big deal. However, other large companies may have, for example, hired a server a year ago, and then they go to repost that position because now it's a year later and they need a server again. And that posting will automatically, even if they just posted it an hour ago, say posted 30 days ago. That would be a missed opportunity if you just didn't apply for it. So if you really like a job and it says 30 plus days ago, please apply anyway. There's no harm in trying it out. Okie doke. I think that's mostly it. As far as using Indeed once you apply to jobs, there is this Save Job button. Go ahead and save those. I'm hoping that when I have meetings with some of you over Zoom, you can tell me, you've got some of these hearted saved jobs. Awesome. Really excited about that. Ooh, it says improvements coming soon. Love that. So you want to say saved, and it's up to you to move everything to applied, interviewing, offered, hired, all of those things. So be careful with that. Make sure you are keeping up to date with all of your things. I think that's pretty much it, guys. We will get more into this in the Zoom session tomorrow. So hopefully I will see you guys soon. And let me know if you have any questions, but please create accounts. And if you do not create it before our Zoom session, I will ask you to create one afterwards. That way you can either go ahead and start applying for jobs, or maybe choose to apply for jobs next year, having the account and writing down your login information, which is key, um, and keeping it somewhere you will remember it, that is very important. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to take you back to that Indeed homepage just so you have it fresh in your mind. Also, it will give you some suggested searches. Love it, love it. All right, everybody, have a great day. See you soon.